Hey, welcome back, guys. All right, let's get into this collective message. I actually already recorded one. YouTube's having some issues today with really slow processing. This happened yesterday as well. So I will release videos. Sag has a video also, and I don't know when I can release it. So hang tight as some maybe updates are happening, and I will get things out as soon as I can. But in the meantime, here we go. We have got the Nine of Pentacles and the Star card for our starters. So we've got somebody in a pretty empowered state, and with that star, we may have two people here, but we have someone wishing upon a star, possibly an Aquarius, but we have possibly a masculine who's finding like the abundance that he has in his life, sensing it, feeling it, in this case, sharing it. We have this little bird, he's hacked open a watermelon and is sharing, yummy nourishment with this sweet little songbird. And so this is somebody who gets a lot of value out of their life, not just in what they get, but also like they receive value by sharing energy with others, even other creatures, which is that speaks really highly of who he is as a person. But let's take a closer look at our star person here. She's over here cuddling a baby lamb as well. So both of these characters have like a nice, gentle vibe to them. Neptune, baby, so good to see you. Okay, so she comes across as an Empress. Star person is now also going to be known as our Empress, which could be Libra Taurus energy. She seems to be definitely like an absolute like darling energy, really kind, really warm-hearted, really loving kind of energy. That's great. I mean, there's nothing at all that we would, try to detract from that beautiful vibe of kindness. Now, she does seem to be praying for something. What is it that you're asking for? Seven of Swords, to see clearly, to not be tricked, to not have fears that are, either born of things that are, lies that we tell ourselves or being tricked by others. Queen of Cups. I almost think that this amazing Empress person is saying, I really hope that I am on the right path. I hope I can have a sign. I hope I'm not going down a false road and don't even know it. I really hope that I am, is this who I'm supposed to be? Is this the best path for me? Is this where I'm supposed to put my energy? Let me be loving. Let me be open. Let me be my best self. Am I doing all right? Universe, can you give me a sign kind of energy? Hi, Lalu. We got the High Priestess. Definitely, can I get a sign that I'm on the right path? Maria, hi, babe. Let's take another look. We got the Seven of Coins. I think she's been doing a specific thing for a long time, and it's like, okay, it's not blossoming, it's not really growing the way I would have expected. So am I doing okay? This could be like a career path. Oftentimes she is like the kind of person who's, I don't know, like working really hard or has a business or something. And in that business, in that hard work, she very well may be saying, I don't see the progress. Am I ever going to reach those heights that I've set for myself? Is there something that I'm missing? Is there something I'm not doing or not doing enough of? Is there some reason? Like, I feel like I'm doing the things that I love, but is that the only reason I'm doing this? And it's really not the right path for me. Can I please catch a sign? Because I'm not seeing a harvest yet, even though I've done so much effort. Okay, so in her energy, and maybe this is all part of the same thing. Maybe this is her saying, I pour all of my energy into it. I've, set my sights on something. I've poured myself into it. But how come it's not really yielding really big results other than, there's things that I like about what I'm doing, but can I get a sign as to whether or not I'm on the right path for me? I also kind of wonder if she doesn't need help at this point. Sometimes Eight of Coins. Okay, so this is starting to grind her down a bit. You notice that this is somebody who's over here, like she's making these pentacles, but she's making them out of blackberry brambles, and her little feet are cut and her little fingers are cut. Like I'm going to say she might be working really hard, working her little fingers to the bone, maybe not even doing it in the most expedient way, maybe missing a couple of key components that somebody else, could come in with expertise and help her with. Or maybe this is an Empress who's like, look, I'm building an empire. It's freaking hard to do it by myself. It would be amazing to have, an Emperor Empress dynamic, a partner, because we do have two people on this Seven of Pentacles, and it's like, am I really going to be single my whole life and have nobody to build my empire with? Because sometimes it's getting a little bit old, and it's really hard to keep up when it's just me, and I can only generate so much money. I kind of think as hard as she's working, she's hit a plateau where it's like I can't quite break through. Why haven't I had the partnership or the business partnership, or why haven't I met the person to build with? It's hard to run an empire just by myself. And I almost wonder if maybe she needed to get to the point of saying, universe, I could use a little help. Can I catch a sign? Let's turn to the universe right now. I think we'll use this deck. Universe, what is your response to her? What would you say to her right now? Okay, so we have Judgment, and it's kind of at a tilted angle. The divine is like, I know it's tough times right now. I know, darling, but there is something to make peace with. And hang on, because these next couple cards, we literally have the Six of Cups and the Four of Wands. And the Six of Cups literally shows us like a business. There is a soulmate. There is a partnership. There is a marriage. There is a business partnership. It is there. It is out there for you. But there is something you have to reconcile with. There's okay, remember this first card? I was thinking it was a different person. Now I'm inclined to think it is her who set her sights at one point in time and maybe made a claim like, I am going to step into my divine masculine energy, meaning I'm an action taker. I've set this plan for myself. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it my way. I'm completely content with this. The universe might be saying, you need to call me back up on the, spiritual cell phone and tell me that you don't still just want to do it yourself. You got to let me know that you want this. I've been waiting for you to tell me, I'm not going to force feed you what you said you didn't want. You wanted to do it by yourself. You had this vision. You were very content with the way it was going. If you've changed that mindset, you do got to let me know. Because I've been here in statue format, the divine's been waiting here, being like, you wanted to take on some stuff and you did. And you've been, battling the storms yourself and maybe even enjoying a certain amount of it. But if you want more, you can have it. You just got to let me know. I feel like she missed that one critical component where she forgot to go ahead and ask the universe for it. And now this is somebody who's on her knees looking up. This is somebody in prayer. She doesn't have to be spiritual. There's lots of different ways. I'm not a religious person myself in any traditional form. I don't follow anybody's religious beliefs. I have kind of my own, but don't we all have a way that we, think toward whatever our version of a creator or power may be, right? We all may have our own thing. Mine is probably being out in nature, even if it's only in my subconscious mind, that's where I feel most connected to whatever the energy of life is. We all have our own different ways, and it can be poetic or subtle or something like that, or it can be very traditional religious. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's all the same. We just have different ways. The same way two people might construct a sentence differently, but they mean the same thing. Humans are not that different. Even our belief systems, you get down to the bottom of it, it's not so different. But that's my opinion. It's all the same. If we're more accepting, we wouldn't have these stupid divisions. But that's just my opinion. What do I know? This feels like whatever method she uses, though, to kind of sift through what she actually wants in life. As I think this is a very independent kind of character who has wanted to construct her life according to her own blueprints, right? Maybe she didn't actually want a partner for a bit. She wanted to, just create what she wanted to without having another person. It might have been that, sometimes when we choose to make our life, put the scaffolding up as we want it, it's because we're kind of proving to ourselves, this is me making my stamp in my own life that I am here. This is what I have envisioned for myself. And then at some point, once we've built to a certain extent, we go, okay, I feel like I've exercised my, personality and my, um, you know, independent mind. And now I wouldn't mind, you know, co-creating with someone because I no longer feel like I have to establish my identity. I've already done that. Now I could share and I could, there's different times in our life where we want to share and other times in our life where we don't. We want it to just be our self-expression. And I kind of think that's where she's at. She needs to now acknowledge, I would like another person to share with, which means she has to be willing to share. You can't say I want somebody in my empire, but I just want them to carry out the tasks that I want them to, because then that would be a dictator. It's like, no, I'd love to have a compliment. And I'd love to share the building of something. It doesn't mean she has to abandon her own, individual opinions, but she would have to be willing to come to a table and consult with a partnership and make co-decisions. Now, if she's not really ready for that, then she probably doesn't genuinely want a partner. She should just hire somebody that, is like on a payroll to, help her in building an empire. And that's fine too. It's just know what you're looking for and be honest about it. I think she really wants a partner. I think part of what she's been building for herself has been, like her life, her empire, her business type of thing. But I do think she would really like to have a life partner, business partner, the whole 9 yards. And she wants to collaborate at this point, not surrender her ideas and her independence, but be willing to come to the table and, suss stuff out and, find common ground with a partner who's every bit as intelligent as she is, every bit as, like-minded on let's be successful, let's build something amazing together. Up until now, I don't think she wanted to share that role with anybody. I think she wanted it for herself because she needed to do that for herself. And I think this is where the universe is like, you haven't been cheated out of a great partner. You were your own great partner and you needed that. You wanted that and you did really well. And if you want something different now, go ahead and but call in what you really want. You want a partner, then you got to be that partner too. You want it, you can have it. There's definitely like somebody out there that she may even know that is already a potential great match for her. It's kind of sweet because this is somebody she's not giving up anything. She'd be adding things into her empire. But again, changing her method, her flow, realizing, yeah, I would like to co-create now. I've built myself the way I needed to, and now I'm an Empress. I don't have to do more self-discovery. I know who I am. That's why I'm ready to, share and co-create, because I have already built myself in the image I needed to. I really think that this is somebody who's waited long enough to get into a deep partnership because she needed the freedom to just first become who she was. Oftentimes, I think that characters who are hell-bent, like, I'm not letting anybody tell me who I have to be, is they've already dealt with that. They already, maybe didn't get to have a voice when they were like younger, and they, maybe they lived in great poverty or something and a lot of limitations were placed upon them. And then they grow up and they go, I am not going to be cheated out of any experience. I am going to hold my head up high. I'm going to be successful on my own right, my own merit. Nobody gets to tell me how my life has to go. And so she builds it the way she wants. And then, and only then, when it's like, I have checked off every box that I had of, making sure that I claimed the life that I'm entitled to create for myself, now I'd like to share it with someone. And I think that to me, that totally makes sense. That's like a very strong person who's very determined that they will claim their own freedom. And then once they've done that, now they're an amazing partner and they're ready to share making decisions with other people. But I think this is somebody who didn't have a lot of power, who was like, I will never surrender my power unless I choose to. And now she's like, okay, now I choose to share my power, not surrender it, but share it. And now it won't feel like I'm sacrificing something to be in a relationship. So she's ready for this now. And I think that the universe is just mentioning gently to her, If you would like to have that partnership, awesome. Now is the time to go ahead, and you've already planted the seeds. If this is where your mindset is, now you're looking for a specific kind of partnership. You want somebody who similarly has a good sense of their own identity, somebody who wants to plant seeds that will really grow, somebody that wants to nurture things, somebody that wants to have, like an actual future, and somebody who has ideas that they can contribute, not somebody who's going to sit back and be like, okay, well, you make all the plans and just tell me what to do. She's not looking for that. She's looking for partnership, or at least that's what the universe is saying. You're an empress looking for an empress's mate, somebody who has got to be as strong as you, have as brilliant an idea as you, someone who will push back on you because they'll have great plans too. But the two of you will have a foundational similarity, which is we are looking at growing the best possible future. That way it won't be the two of you are fighting and in power struggles, but rather you want to not waste any resource. You want to do the most sensible thing, the thing that's going to make the greatest outcome, the greatest life possible for the empire and for the two of you. That's the kind of person she wants to match with. That's the right kind of like compliment, while also being somebody who would challenge in the right way. I'm not challenging you because I want power over you. We have to make good decisions. That means we have to, throw out different ideas, spitball together, shoot ideas down that might be like, oh, no, that wouldn't be good. We'd waste too much money. Let's try this instead. Okay, yeah, that actually sounds pretty good. Yeah, let's do it that way instead. It doesn't matter who's got the better idea. It matters how they both succeed. I think this is a part she's still turning over in her mind a little bit. So what would that look like? Who could I picture? Do I know anybody like that already? Because the universe is like nudging her. Really think about what it means. You don't just want a person. You can find a warm body to go home with any night of the week in any bar you go into. You can find an employee anywhere if you just want a personal assistant. You can find somebody to date. And if you're not picky, anybody will do. But if you're looking for the kind of life partner that you want, be real specific. 10 of Wands upright. It's nice because this says she doesn't have to stress out about what if I make a mistake, or stress out about the past or anything like that. It's like, let it all go. If she's ever been told she was too driven, or she was, oh, you're just such an independent person, you don't want a partner. First off, don't let anybody else tell you who you are. Doesn't matter what she's been dubbed, doesn't matter. And we're allowed to change our opinions too. Maybe at one point she told everybody, I don't want a partner. She's allowed to change her opinion and not feel guilty about that. So this is like shed all old avenues, all old labels, and just say, I'm looking at my future and I realize I'm ready for some things in my future. Get the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. She might need to just first, like I say, kind of think in her mind and address in her mind, what kind of partnership am I really seeking? Get real honest. We got that Queen of Swords, because she does need to know where her deal breakers are. She does need to know where her boundaries are. She does need to know if she's going to put together a prenup, if she's going to, how much will she share and not share. She might need to already have a pretty solid idea of, I don't ever want to share, my total bank account with somebody or my property, but I would want a partnership. So I would have to walk in knowing that I would share a joint bank account with a certain percentage, but not everything else, or, whatever it is. She's got to know where her boundaries are first. And this is all kind of like the universe is saying, so that you can attract the person, the quality, the relationship, the lifestyle that you want, you have to first know what that would look like. We've got the Two of Pentacles in the reverse, Three of Wands upright. It definitely keeps saying she needs to know where her non-negotiables are, which I think is really interesting, because all of this first was about like, oh, you want to share with somebody now. That's awesome. Now think about where you don't want to share, so that you don't wind up, meeting an amazing person, but because you didn't lay out clear boundaries at the beginning about where your comfort zones are, you get super uncomfortable. You wind up, having a great relationship that goes sour real fast, because we didn't begin with the knowledge of, this is what I'm comfortable with and this is what I won't be comfortable with. I keep thinking she has strong boundaries for a reason. I don't know what her backstory is, but she comes across as somebody who is like, there's a reason that she She wants peace and harmony in her relationships, but there's definitely no-go zones where she will not be negotiating. Like, and again, maybe it's about like, this is my property, my money. I, saw a family member lose everything in a divorce. I won't let that happen to me. I promised myself there will be certain things I will always have my own, protection against. It could be, and this is not fear-based, this is her like kind of claiming her turf a little bit, and it's not negotiable. She needs to know what those non-negotiables are, so that now she can move forward with like, okay, now I know who I'm looking for. Now, more importantly, I know who I am in the equation as well. Now I can start actively looking forward to meeting the right person. I know this just feels, it feels like true Empress material. She can love somebody wholly. She wants to love somebody. She wants to build with somebody, but she also cannot pretend that she hasn't already built a life of her own and then be like, okay, let's do the classic, lifestyle where it's like, well, here's a great card for it, right? This is not knocking marriage or weddings or anything like that, but we do have like sometimes these very outdated but beautiful like traditions, right? You get married, you wear white, it's this pure virginal color. And if it's your first marriage and you're this young couple just starting out, she might be 50, 60 years old, own a home, have owned a couple businesses, have made it on her own. She's not, this daisy faced young, I don't know how life works yet. And, I'm marrying somebody who's 2 years older than me, we're both just new to the world. We're not, 19 and 21. We're grown-ups now. So we have bigger, more grown-up responsibilities and lives that we've built. So our perfect relationship wedding, it might not be so traditional, can still be super beautiful, can have many of the same elements. Maybe I'm still going to wear white because I like that color and that's what I want to be married in. But it doesn't have to follow these, kind of, at this point, it would be a little outdated tradition because they're not in that place in life. This is definitely her starting fresh. This might be her first marriage, but again, it could be non-traditional circumstances. And so why should we have these traditional aspects? Like, this isn't a couple starting out maybe that has no resources. It's not a husband and wife just beginning who together they're going to be building, a business, and they'll be equally as invested, and every penny they both make will go to building a life together. She's coming in with already an empire. So why should she surrender her whole empire to somebody that she's connecting to when perhaps it's like, wait a minute, I put in 40 years of building this empire. There are certain things I'm not going to be able to share, but moving forward, there will be another component of my life that I can completely share. So it's finding, this is such a delicate thing, and I don't know that I'm explaining this very well, but everything that I see here is the situation is a little different. Therefore, the context of the relationship will be different. Yes, I want to share. Yes, I want to be a real partner, but there are also certain things in my life that I have learned through life experience. I have parameters around certain non-negotiables. And knowing this, I can now move forward. I kind of think she just wants a very mature person who's as mature as her. And they can, this is not like a clinical relationship that will be business only. I think she wants true partnership, but with just a couple of caveats in it. And now she can move forward, knowing what she's really seeking. So let me just ask this, universe, will she find that? Because all of this has felt like, it's important to know where you're at in life. So we got the Magician. Yep, she'll manifest exactly what she's seeking. Exactly what she's seeking. And it will feel fresh, and she will feel, excited, and it will feel really, just lighthearted and just really nice. We've got the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. She's like, I've made a lot of great choices as a single individual. I'm ready to make good choices, not as a single individual anymore. I don't want to be single anymore. I'm ready to share. So I'm manifesting that. The World. She may call in a Capricorn. She may call in somebody who's just as like, maybe they've also built a business, an empire. Two people that maybe have very vastly different kinds of empires that they've built. But we've seen the world card twice. I think basically we could say she's an empress looking for an emperor, somebody who's similarly built their independence, their ideas, their life. I think she wants somebody who's totally on par with her. Like, you also care about, being able to continue to manage what you manage, but you want a partner to share life with at the same time. Somebody to bounce great ideas off of, somebody that is, equally as caring about your success. And I care about your success as well. But we can still respect the fact that we each built something and we come to the table with these huge, rich lives and businesses and all these things first. It's actually, like, honestly, I think she's manifesting a truly like equitable relationship, a relationship built on true equality, like right down to their financial status. All right, I'm going to leave this one here. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's really great to see you all. Hi, Lisa. Patricia Bucator, so wonderful to see you, honey. It's been a minute since I caught you in a live. Katie, hi. Good day to you, my love. Thanks again, Lisa. EM, so nice to see you, beauty. EM, I hope you get that nap. You deserve it. EM, you're so sweet. You checked out Pisces. Well, of course, I thought of you last night as I did Pisces. Hi, Des. Keandra Moore. Oh, Aparna, I don't do that. Mama Eagle, hey, hey. Hi, Jessica. Desiree, San Moy, Champer 679. Hi, Robin. Chrissy. Savez-vous, my dear? Thank you for being here from France. How are you? Astrid Noid. Hey, Samanita. Oh, thanks. I don't remember what top I was wearing. Was it the map one? Probably the map one. I think that's what I wore yesterday. Hi, Kimmy. Oh, I always try, Kimmy, to kind of move some of our zodiacs up to the top of the list that are the biggest supporters of the channel. So I try, like, Virgos and Capricorns and Libras. I will, if I can squeeze in extra videos throughout the week for them, I try. Otherwise, all the other zodiacs, I try to make sure I get 2 videos per week. But yeah, the zodiacs that are the greatest watch groups, I always try to make sure that I say thank you by doing like little bonus here and there if I possibly can. So thank you. I'm so glad, Kimmy. Contented Tiger, great to see you. Annie S. Bingle Bongle B, hey, hey. Fees Mystic Faith, wonderful to catch you. Hi, Shell. That's awesome. Is it nice and cool there on the North Coast? That's awesome. All right, you guys. Sarah Clark, hi. Oh, so good to catch you. I'm sorry you've been so busy, honey. You take good care of yourself, though. Make sure you get some rest. Liv A, hi. Hi, Jessica. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Well done. That is amazing. Yeah, take good care of you. Definitely cool down. But awesome. All right, you guys. Take care. I will see you in the other videos. I will be putting out other zodiacs today. I'm very hopeful that maybe the bogged down glitch going on YouTube has settled itself out. When that happens, it tends to take several hours. So it's really hard because I'll create videos, but then I can't release them because they won't finish processing. And so I'm kind of stuck for a few hours, but I'm hoping that it gets smoothed out. Bingle Bongle Bay. Aries is napping right now. He is quite tired because yesterday he had kind of a big doggy day, and the day before that as well. We've had lots of, we had a birthday party last night, and he, of course, had to do some work on the property, and he loves to go a visiting. So yeah, he had a really good time yesterday. All right, you guys, lots of love. I'll see you again soon. Bye.